We got a packed house tonight, which is outstanding. Thank you very much for coming tonight to the first installment of the Fall Sports Banquets. We have another one on Thursday to celebrate our volleyball, cross country, and girls golf. But tonight, of course, we're here to celebrate our team and individual accomplishments for football, cheer, and Emerald. So thank you, first of all, for being here. We're going to eat first. I know there's a lot of people who are hungry and ready to eat, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking to make you wait any longer. Before we eat, though, we've got Mr. Nathan Johnson, who's going to come up and do our prayer for this evening. So, Nathan, you're up.
Let's all bow our heads. Dearly Father God, thank you, Jesus, so much, Lord, for this opportunity, Lord, just to be able to honor the hard-working athletes, God, that you just allowed us to be able to have in this room. Dearly Father God, I just pray that you just bless this food in the hands to prepare it, Lord, and that you just be with us tonight. It's in your Son's most precious name we pray. Amen.
All right, so here is the anticipated order of who will eat first, second, third, and last. The head table is going to go up first. So, well, you knew that was coming. I mean, we had never changed that. All right, so the tables are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is the order in which they were randomly drawn or randomly selected. Table 3 will be first. Then table 2. Table 1. I'm so sorry, table 4, but you guys are last. Head table going up. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I want to thank you guys for being here. As you can see, we have a packed house, so quite a few of our kids were able to make it tonight, and quite a few of their parents as well, and that's a fantastic thing because this is always a great opportunity for us to all come together and celebrate our student athletes, not only as individuals, but also as our sports team. So these banquets have always been something kind of neat, something kind of special because it gives us the opportunity to do that. It's sort of a closure on the season and to look back at everything with fond memories and just remember all the memories that are made, but also to remember the accomplishments that were made throughout the season. So thank you for being here, guys. Before I introduce our coaches, I want to take just a minute to thank Jordan Mueller and her kitchen staff for preparing the meal this evening. How about a nice round of applause for them? The chicken and cookies were from Country Mart, and the ladies in the back, they prepared everything else this evening, and they did a fantastic job, as usual. Also want to take just a second to thank our sports booster officers. We have 5 officers currently, and all 5 of these individuals work really hard on a volunteer basis. They don't get paid anything. The only thing that they get for being a booster is free membership, and that's it. They spend a lot of time setting up for concessions. They spend a lot of time at meetings about every other month. They do a lot of things like pick scholarship winners, just a long list of things that they do for our kids. Those 5 officers are Rob Coleman, Andrea Fritsch, Christy Fleeman, Deanne Squires, and Laura Hunter. How about a nice round of applause? All right, so I'll introduce our coaches really quick. We're going to go in the order of cheer, then Emeralds, and then football this evening. So we're going to actually introduce them in that same order. So starting to my far left, we have our longtime head cheer coach, and that's Shelly Dallas. Her assistant, Miss Lori Dunn. We're missing our Emeralds coach. She must have bailed on us, so hopefully she comes back. You never know. But we're going to give her a round of applause anyway. Miss Louise Robertson. Louise does it all by herself. She does a fantastic job. She's working really hard on that program right now. Over to my right is the ugly side of the room, and that is our football coaches. Going from my left to right. Yeah, something like that. We've got our head football coach in his second year here and as the head coach, and that is Jay Pope. Coach Robertson already introduced you, so I don't know what to tell you. To his right is our offensive coordinator at the varsity level, Kellen Bosler. To his right is one of our many assistants, and that is Kenny Rapp. Kenny played football here, and so did the gentleman to his right, and that is one of our assistant coaches, Adam Sherry. Another St. Genevieve football player and another assistant to his right in the pretty purple shirt, Cody Schwent. And the guy to his right played at Farmington, but we will forgive him for that. I remember when he was in high school, actually, and we played Farmington, and he was a senior, and he was not only an offensive lineman and defensive lineman, but he also kicked field goals for Farmington, if you can believe that. And he could boot the heck out of the ball, too, I'm telling you. Jared Bonnell. Okay, so without any further ado, we're going to start our evening, as far as the coaches are concerned, with cheer. I believe Coach Dallas, you doing all the talking tonight?
Yes.
Is that correct? All right, so Coach Dallas, give it up for Coach Dallas.
Hello, everybody. As Dr. Nix had said, I am the head football coach, and Lori Dunn is my assistant.
Wow, congratulations.
Oh, it says cheer coach on my list. I don't want to coach football, although I have given him some trick plays to do. Our cheerleading team has worked very hard this year, and I'm very proud of them and how they handled all the changes we made. They were fun to coach, and I'm so sorry that I missed half the season due to injuries and stuff. I want to say thank you to Lori, who had picked up all the rest of the games for the season and all the practices, had to deal with all that by herself, and I'm really sorry, but she did a great job, and she assured me it was okay, but I still feel bad about it. I enjoy working with you, and she calms me down and balances me whenever I get upset. I want to thank Dr. Nix for everything he does. He doesn't even, he answers my phone calls whenever I call him, text him, or email him. I want to thank Dr. Boyd, Mr. Schnabel, Mrs. Henderson, that all put up with me during my coaching season. I want to thank the team for being so awesome to coach. It was a lot of fun watching you guys this year with your success. I want to thank the parents for their support that they give the cheerleaders so that they can come to practices, games, and help keep us stocked with water and other things. I also want to thank the coaches and also for all their support that they've given us. It's been a great, fun season. Let me just tell you a little bit over the summer. We went to an NCAA, National Cheerleading Association camp at SEMO for 4 days. We got numerous awards. I'm proud of this team. They brought home the coveted Spirit Stick that's awarded to a team that shows excellent in sportsmanship and character. I proudly display that in my office. We also brought home the Herky Award. This is voted on by other teams. The Herky Award is awarded to teams that exemplify the qualities on which NCAA was founded: leadership, values, and teamwork. This team has worked hard together, and only 3 of these awards were handed out at camp out of about 25 teams. So that's quite an honor and makes a coach very proud. We also had 2 team members that were nominated to the All-American team. Congratulations to Caitlin Gray and Sophie Vogt. I think Sophie's here today. I'm really proud of your accomplishments at camp. We also want to thank Coach Robertson and the Emeralds dance team for performing with us a dance that we did at the homecoming pep assemblies, and we did it at a halftime performance. Coach Robertson and the Emeralds were so fun to work with, and it was awesome. We had a great time. They truly are a gem. Now to introduce my St. Genevieve High School cheerleading team. Please hold your applause to the end. I'm going to ask the cheerleaders to come stand up here, and Coach Dunn will give you your certificate. First, we're going to start with the freshmen. We have Chloe Dixon. Please hold your applause. It goes a little bit quicker if we hold our applause. Chloe is quiet and slowly came out of her shell. She was out half the season due to an injury, but she still made the most of it. We also have Emily Merrifield. She's quiet too. She started to talk a little bit more as the season went on. These two worked hard throughout the season to learn the cheers. Then our sophomores, we have Mariah App. Mariah is easy to coach. She always wants to work hard and encourages others to do so as well. A little bit of a perfectionist, but that's a good quality to have. Hannah Ahrens, she works hard and she's willing to do what I ask. She has good ideas. Savannah DeRouche, she doesn't say much. She's a very quiet person, but she's starting to come out of her shell a little bit. She's willing to try new things, and her motions have gotten a lot better this year. Ruthie Dunn, she worked hard on flying, learning to fly. She's an upbeat and very expressive person. She's a junior.
Oh, okay.
Sophie's a junior.
Okay.
Sophie Vogt.
I thought I caught it.
Sophie works hard. She's very spirited. She's nice to others. She smiles a lot at practices even. Then for our juniors, Sophia DeRouche. She's a quiet leader, good listener, great back spot. She was one of our team captains at NCA camp. Elena Schemmel, still chop your name, sorry, have for a couple of years now. Elena is very organized, reminds me of things when I need to, and she was a team captain. Now for the awards. The Hardest Worker Award goes to Mariah Apt. Best Technique Award goes to Sophia DeRouche. Her motions and her sharpness. Best Jumps go to Ruthie Dunn. Ruthie works hard on her jumps. Even though, so our award for cheer award is someone who has a positive attitude, committed, dedication, compromises, follows rules, and gets along with others. That's Caitlin Gray, but I don't think Caitlin is here today. Our Spirit Award is someone who is enthusiastic, smiles, jumps a lot during the game. She's very positive and gets along well with others, and that's Sophie Vogt. I want to thank you girls for being such wonderful people and being so fun to work with. I missed coaching you a lot this year, and I will miss coaching next year as I have to give it up due to my health. And I want to spend more time with my grandkids. But I know it's a time for me to step down. Sorry. This was a wonderful season, and I look forward to watching you in school and watching you guys become great young women. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coach Dallas. Appreciate you being here this evening. I know she doesn't care for me to tell you guys this. Most of you probably know already. She was leaving school to actually go to a football game and fell and broke both of her legs. So she didn't just break one. She broke both of them and pretty badly. Lots of surgery. And so she's been out for a while. But blood clots, yeah, it's a long list of health issues that she had. But she was able to be here tonight. I know she was really wanting to, and even though we didn't expect her to, it was important for her to be. It was important to her for her to be here this evening. So thank you for making it, Coach Dallas, and Coach Dunn as well. And before we get to our Emeralds, just a really quick, realization about cheer and Emeralds. They are our only two sports that we have in any season that we have that don't have games or statistics or starters or things like that. Their season, their goals, things like that all revolve around supporting our sports teams. Whether that be dancing at halftime or cheering during the course of the game. So there are two very unique sports that we have here at St. Genevieve. And with that being said, we're going to turn it over now to Coach Robertson to talk about our Emeralds.
Buckle up, folks. It's never pretty. Can I ask you ladies to line up right here? What we call this, the ugly side of the room? Can we block the ugly side of the room? I'm going to go ahead and apologize now. Love you guys. Okay. I stand up here this evening proud. Your St. Genevieve Emeralds team went 6-0 on the season. I don't know what he's talking about, statistics. We're undefeated, baby. After practicing hard all summer long, we felt confident in our preparation for the home opener. The first victory over the Festus Tigers left us feeling vindicated and more confident than ever. But we were quickly brought back to reality. Late in the second week, we found out we were losing a starter to a COVID quarantine. With already a small squad on the field and no one left on the sidelines to fill in, we buckled down and looked inward. Every teammate on the field could feel the extra pressure, but we still managed to come out on top, taking down the Afton Cougars. I could do this all night, but let's get down to it. First of all, the first three weeks of the season were all little kittens. Realistically, what is a tiger, a cougar, or a black cat gonna do to a mythical creature like a dragon? We also gotta consider that. Then we get to the Trojans. I mean, does he have a horse? Or is he on foot? Does he have a bow and arrow? Or is he just using a sword? I mean, the option is there, but statistically speaking, a Trojan isn't 100% effective. Unless you're gonna go with the bird for, what is it, the Kelly Hawks? What, is somebody gonna peck you to death? Which leads us to the last and definitely the least, the Bearcats. Was it just me, or did any of you lose interest just Googling what the heck a Bearcat even is? Regardless, we stayed clear-minded and crafty and walked away on the season completely unscathed. How about a round of applause for your undefeated St. Genevieve Emeralds? Okay, gentlemen, all joking aside, I think I speak confidently as a squad that the Emeralds dance team would like to congratulate the St. Genevieve Dragon football team on a phenomenal season, and we want to sincerely thank all of you gentlemen from the bottom of our hearts for letting us be a part of your Friday Night Lights. We definitely had a great time cheering you on and performing at your halftime. So without you guys, we wouldn't have a squad, so we appreciate you. Now to the Emeralds. Ladies, as I call your name, I just want you to take a tiny step forward and smile and wave to your dinner party this evening. You can do it. Senior, Hannah Magger.
I did it.
Oh my gosh. Senior, Alana Schmidt. Junior, Addison Haney. Sophomore, Elena Magger. And sophomore, Kristen Whittu. Another huge thank you from the bottom of our heart goes out to whoever's in charge of purchasing the hot dogs for the concession stand. We love them so much. We literally talk about them every minute leading up to halftime, and then as soon as we're done dancing, we go get one. So, boosters, is that you? You do a good job purchasing. Keep it up. Speaking of concessions, I have to shout out Jess and Jay Money over here. Jessica Schmidt and Jody Nagger for working concessions with us. We're obviously a small squad, and two of my dancers share the same parent, so we're kind of limited on our volunteer help there from parents. And also to all of my Emerald parents who showed me love and support as just being a member of your daughter's life. I just can't thank you enough for that. And then also, another tiny little shout out to our honorary manager and mascot, Paris Hoy. We love you. Okay, what can I say about these girls? First and foremost, together we have shared more meals this season than I think I've had in my entire life. I am not exaggerating. I've put on 8 pounds since the end of August because all we do is eat. If I had $1 for every time I was interrupted in the middle of practice, one of them raising their hands and me naively thinking they had a serious question, and the question came out, can we just go to McDonald's? Or, oh, let's go get Mexican. Yeah, I wouldn't have to work if I had $1 for every time I got that. I think another important part of our season is our therapy sessions that we have with each other. And the most important part is the laughter. We really love to laugh, and we're really good at it, and we have a really great time. Every single one of these girls that is standing before you right now is wildly intelligent, stunningly beautiful inside and out, side-splitting hysterical, amazingly talented, and I love absolutely every ounce of each one of them to pieces. As you've already heard from Coach Dallas, coaching is tough. We are away from our families, we are away from our spouses, we are away from our children to be with yours. But I can tell you, to my Emerald's parents, I would do it all over again just to spend one more Friday night with them. We only have one award, and then I will stop talking and absolutely botching this awards banquet. We did one award, and it was voted on by the Emerald dancers. I did not vote. It was very close, and all of these selfless souls up here in front of you, not a single girl voted for herself. The award tonight is Most Valuable Dancer, and that award goes to Addison Haney. And oh my God, I didn't give certificates. And I'm the worst coach up here. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. Each of these girls have their varsity, they already have their varsity letters, so they each got a new, what is it called? Bar. They got a new bar. Yeah, you left me hanging over here. Jesus, get off your phone. I'm just kidding. Please, one more round of applause for these beautiful, wonderful ladies. I love so much. You guys have a good night.
Okay then. That was a roller coaster, but entertaining nonetheless. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay, thank you, Coach. Emeralds did a great job this season. It was the half times when I wasn't running around trying to collect gate or whatever, and I got a chance to watch. It was always a pleasure watching you girls perform. You did a great job. And last but not least, we've got our football program. So I believe all the coaches are going to speak at some point or another. I don't know what order, but I'm going to let them come up in the order that they're supposed to. So without any further ado, we're going to turn it over to the football coaches.
Yeah, I didn't know we were having open mic night, so mine's not going to be nearly that funny. But I'll start off by saying thank you to a lot of people, the All Sports Boosters, all our sponsors, everybody that donated to our kids over the summer. We can't thank you enough. Tyler Brown, he was with us almost every single game. He cares so much about our kids and about our community, and we just can't thank him enough. The media, Mike Boyd at the Herald, Matt King, Daily Journal, Griffin Weinberg, KTJJ, Don Bulwer at Maritime Sports, all our helpers on Friday nights, Rabbit Tomier, Tom Schwartz, Bum Stoll and the Chain Crew. I think one of them had a heart attack during the Afton game because they were running up and down the sideline so much. They were kind of mad at Bosler, but we appreciate those guys. The booth guys, stats guys, Dale Probst, and we have Paul doing our play clock for us this year. That was just a trick to get him on the sideline. I don't know if you guys watch college games on Saturdays when the state troopers escort the coach out to the middle of the field after the game. That's Paul for us. So we tricked him into being my security guard this year. Dragon's Lair production, all the awesome graphics and stuff that are on the video. Coach Kyle Schweiss, the voice of Dragon TV. Coach Robertson and the Emeralds, thank you for letting us use your field for practice every day. Angela Johns, all the parents that help feed these guys each and every week, before and after every game. I know it's a ton of work. My wife's got 6 cats I can't even feed every day, so having you guys to help feed our 70-plus kids and coaches is a huge benefit. It takes a lot off my plate. Our managers, Andrew Marzuko, always there for us. Tristan Rapp, the Sherry boys, and all the middle school players that helped us on game days. And most importantly, these assistant coaches up here. Like Coach Rob mentioned, they spend a lot of time away from their children to be with your children. And at the end of our year's survey that we sent out to the kids, every player picked at least one of the coaches that impacted their life. And they all built special bonds with these guys up here. And without these guys, this program wouldn't have any success. So I thank them. But more importantly, I thank their families for letting them spend time with us and spend time with their children. And last thanks to the parents. Thank you for trusting us with your kids. Thank you for allowing us to coach them. We ask a lot out of these guys, especially the younger guys. We know it's not easy to get them here at 5:30. We know it's a lot to ask during the summer. But we hope at the end of this deal that you can see that was worth it. And I thank you for trusting us to build some discipline and work ethic in these boys. So thank you, parents. So we're going to start with the JV younger guys. So when I call you guys up, just come up here. Unlike Coach, I'm going to hand out all your stuff tomorrow so we can get this over with so I can watch the Eagles here in a little bit. So when I call your name, just kind of come stand up here, and we're just going to talk about the season as a whole real fast. Matt Bodine, Talon Pinkley, Colton Brace, Cameron Vogt, Hayden Heberly, Drake Meyer, Justin Schweiger, Chase Thompson, Eli Bennett, Ethan Otten, Sawyer Bowman, Tegan Graves, Carter Hogemiller, Evan Nagger, Owen Bowman, Clinton Beasley, John Finley, Brandon Beckett, Seth Fisher, Jason Engel, Ian Cairns, Charles Meese, Levi Richardson, Drew Merriman, Jacob Warren, Madden Wolk, Caden Manning, and Justin Slinkard. Those are your JV award winners. These 3 guys I'm about to announce are provisional letter winners, meaning they've played between 7 and 10 quarters. So if they letter next year, they'll get a varsity letter for this year as well. And those 3 guys are Luke Ferrano, Chris Castorena, and Charles Corbett. Your JV. So in order to letter at the JV level, you guys, to letter at the varsity level, you have to play 10 quarters at the varsity level. And I'll be honest, I suck at keeping track of quarters. So if you guys think you have 10, come see me tomorrow and we'll fix it. Okay, we'll fix it. But just talking about this group real fast, I think Coach Rapp and Coach Schwint said it best when we wrapped up our end of the season, that this crew was probably the best underclassmen crew that I've certainly ever been a part of in my 12 years, and they echoed that as well. And not from a talent standpoint, but just from an overall great human beings, togetherness, all the cliche buzzwords you can throw out about a team, these guys embody. And again, I know we ask a lot out of these guys, and it's hard. As freshmen, it's hard. As sophomores, when you can't get rides. But being here every day at 5:30, doing all the hard work, being the dummy on scout team a lot, I know it's not easy. But these guys did it each and every day. And as the season progressed, they got better and better and better, and they're just a fantastic group of young men. And I think the future of Dragon football is very bright, and it's because of these guys standing up here in front of you. So thank you guys for a fantastic season. We look forward to building with you guys as we move forward in the next season. Your JV letter winners. All right, you guys can take a seat. Varsity guys, same deal. When I call you up, just come stand up here. We'll talk about you. Aiden Boyer, Jaden Reinhardt, Tucker Reed, Mason Nix, Wyatt Springcamper, Jack Farlow, Aiden Trollinger, both the Flies, Aiden Butcher, Ryan Schwint, Isaiah Bosler, Jacob Johns, Caleb Wilson, Hayden Ford, Gabe Willett, Carter Burr, Aiden Meyer, Justin Schwint, Nathan Johnson, Landon Thompson, Thomas PQ, Wyatt Kemper, Dalton McBride, Matthew Schmidt, Greg Amlong, Anthony Bader, Jacob Schweigert, Jordan Jacob, Aiden White, Will Vaughn. These are your varsity award winners for the 2022 football season. So just quick recap. I just want to talk about these guys real quick as a group, and then we're going to talk about the seniors individually. These guys, again, it's not easy doing what they do. Coming here over the summer every morning in the heat working, it sucks. It sucks, and I know it. But we preach all the time that this deal isn't to win games. It's not to win titles. None of that matters. The things these guys do, work ethic-wise, character-wise, is what matters. And those things of just showing up, doing what you're supposed to do. These guys did it each and every week, and it's been really fun to watch. And we're super proud of the effort these guys continue to give and the bonds they continue to build with each other. And I think, as a whole, our season went very, very well, and very proud of how these guys matured throughout the season. With that said, there are three guys I really want to point out up here, three juniors, Wyatt Kemper, Hayden Ford, and Caleb Wilson. To nobody's fault, we didn't really have a JV season this year. It was either a freshman game or freshman, sophomore game only. So these three juniors, kind of got the shaft because they didn't have JV games. And it's the first time we've ever had this, and it was hard. It was really hard. But those guys came to practice each and every freaking day, and they continue to practice hard, practice with heart. And we're very excited to see those guys continue next year. So thank you guys especially. I'm not a guy that really cares about stats. I don't think any of that matters. I don't care about scoreboard. Wins are important, but it's not what matters. We tell these guys all the time that what you take away from this thing is these bonds with these guys and the memories you have. So I have a few key stats from the season, but they're a little different than what you might expect. So I've got some numbers written down. I'll give you an example. So 500. 500 was the total number of bear crawl yards Landon Thompson completed for jumping off sides at practice. Again, these are the stats that I'm going to remember, and I think the staff and players are going to remember. 252. That was Coach Rapp's heart rate during his halftime speech about Potosi. It was one of the most inspirational speeches I've ever been a part of, and I just sat back, and I think he had 2 strokes in it, but it was fantastic. I wish we could have filmed it, but yeah. 108. 108. That is the total number of days from June 1st to November 4th that we spent together. Coincidentally, 108 is also the number of times we were forced to see Jacob Schweigert's belly button. 28. I think most of the football team knows what 28 is. 28 days is the total number of days I lived with a feral cat in my ceiling, which inspired one speech against Fredericktown. 10. 10 is the total number of Aidens, Jaden, Cadens, and Haydens on our team. If you want to see Coach Rapp lose his mind, yell Jaden, or Aiden, or Caden and Hayden, and see the wrong kid run across the field. Number 8, this is one of my favorites. 8 was the number of times we got to sing Neon Moon together after a win. I think that song's going to have a different meaning for us the rest of our lives, and it's a great memory to have. 4, the number of pregame speeches about random animals. If anybody's looking for any facts about Blue Jays, Tristan Rapp was completely tuned into my R7 speech. So if you need to know anything about Blue Jays, Tristan Rapp's your guy. 3. 3 is the number of times our defense suplexed an opposing player. But my favorite part is, and they might be here tonight, every time it happened, I just heard the same person yell, "Let them play." So I appreciate the enthusiasm. The number 2 is the number of times Coach Bosler has fallen asleep tonight during this banquet. But the most important number that these guys achieved is 0. 0. That's the number of days they're going to walk through life alone. We tell them all the time that, again, championships don't matter. That stuff fades. But the guy next to you is going to be there forever. Okay? You're never going to walk alone in this life. Ever. 0 times. So that's the most important stat for this season. So you guys can take a seat. We're going to talk about the seniors real fast, and we'll get you to Monday Night Football.
AB, might as well stay. All right, I'm going to call up our first senior, Mr. Aiden Boyer. Aiden's been our quarterback for the past 3 years. I remember the first year he started as a sophomore. We played Festus, and we haven't played them in a long time, and they put a pretty good beating on us. And I think he threw about 4 or 5 interceptions. I'll take blame for a couple of those, probably bad play calls. But Aiden showed tremendous growth throughout his sophomore year, mentally and physically. And he ended up having a great year sophomore year. When he came back as a junior, it felt like it just kind of clicked for him. He started understanding things a lot better, started understanding the offense and what we were trying to do. And he really stepped into a leadership role. I think playing quarterback is probably one of the toughest positions in the sport. You've got a lot on your plate. It's probably one of the toughest things to do, and many times he made it look really easy. He made our job as offensive coaches super easy. He just understood what we wanted to do. Looking back on this season, just a few stats. Aiden threw for 1,719 yards, 16 touchdowns, along with rushing for 600 yards. We probably ran him more this year than any other year, and he took advantage of that. And it's a testament to him because I think half the year he was kind of dealing with some hip stuff. So that's a testament to his toughness and perseverance. Not only is Aiden a great athlete, he's an even better person and someone that will do anything that's asked of him. He's a great mentor to all our young students and athletes throughout the school, and he embraces that leadership role. I have no doubt in my mind that he will go on to do great things in life and make a positive impact on anyone that is around him. Looking back over these 3 years, we've built a bond and relationship that will last forever, and that's kind of why we do this stuff as coaches. It's been a fun 3 years, and we all saw him grow into someone that he should be proud of. We're going to miss him big time. Maybe we can get him back in the future. He's a great football mind. Maybe he can come back as a coach or something. But he's obviously going to make a positive impact on anyone that he's around. So we thank you for everything that you've done for this program, and we're going to miss you. Aiden is also the recipient of our first award this year, and he's been wanting this award all year, and he somehow hasn't got it. I mean, Coach Pope has even got it 1 week somehow. But our Scout Team Player of the Year goes to Aiden Boyer, and it's a testament to him because we go offense all the time, and then when we go defense, he doesn't play defense, so he doesn't have a whole lot to do during defensive time. And then when we go Team D, he's always the guy to jump in and play a scout team. So, it's asking a lot of him, and he embraced that throughout the year. So, our Scout Team Player of the Year is Mr. Aiden Boyer. All right, our next senior, Jaden Reinhardt. So Jaden's the type of person that's going to do whatever he needs to do to be successful. He was somebody that could pretty well play any receiver position for us, and that's saying something about him because half these guys can't even remember, one spot. So. Jaden remembered pretty well 4 of them, so it's saying a lot of him. That required him to know pretty well every route concept for each position, and that right there shows what kind of person he is. He was willing to do whatever he had to do for the team, and he never complained about anything. Jaden's a coach's dream player. He did whatever we asked of him, and he did it to the fullest of his potential. He soaked up any advice that he was given, and when he was called upon, he did a great job. He would always go about his business the right way and focused on the team and doing what was best for the team. We're definitely going to miss you and what you provide for this team and program. Jaden's a hardworking individual and will be successful in anything he does because of his preparation and attention to details. We're going to miss you, and we wish you the best in whatever you do, man. Appreciate it.
Good evening. Don't ask about the Potosi halftime speech. I don't remember what I said. No, we're good. Okay. First one up for me tonight is Landon Thompson. I think Pope forgot a few of those bear crawls because I guarantee he did at least 5, 6, 7, 8 more than what he had counted for. But I had written all this down for Landon to, kind of explain how he's been such a good person and football player for us. And then I was thinking when we were walking in, like, the most important point that I want to drive through with Landon happened his sophomore year. We were, I think, who were we playing? Potosi. Landon was going in. He was on defense as a sophomore and had a kid come in behind him and snap his leg in half. And legitimately in half. Coach Wyke and I got out to the field, and we both probably turned white. And Landon, probably in shock, handled it about as well as I think any kid could ever handled it. And the first thing he said to us is, I'm trying to hold him down on the ground so he doesn't see his leg just dangling there, was, am I going to get to play football again? And at the time, Wyke and I lied to him. We said, yeah. Didn't think that was going to be possible. Probably about 4 or 5 months later, Landon comes up to us like, hey, I think I'm ready to start working out, and from that point forward, Landon put in all the work we required and then some after that. He made his way back on the field and I think was ready to go midsummer. He had some setbacks, but the fact that it's probably the worst injury I'd ever seen on the football field, and then 5, 6 months later was able to come back his junior year, start for us, play, and then come back this year, that just kind of paints the picture that I wanted to paint of Landon. So I appreciate it. We're going to miss him. I'm going to miss yelling at him quite a bit. But Landon's played every position on the D-line, played almost every position on offensive line at some point or another for us at the varsity level. So he was definitely a fun kid to have around. Kind of like the pick and poke buttons of the other seniors and sophomores and juniors, and just kind of appreciated the camaraderie that came with it. So going to miss having you next year, bud. Thank you. Yeah. Is Jordan here? No. Jordan, for you guys that don't know, is another kid that basically I've coached these guys since they were in 8th grade. Jordan's played just about every position, offense and defense, and he started since he was a sophomore at one position or another, just kind of bounced around to wherever we needed him. This year he kind of grew into his own. We always kind of said he was like a baby giraffe, trying to get him coordinated because his body just outgrew his coordination. And this year he finally got into it, hit the weight room, and he had solidified a starting spot, and then unfortunately he suffered a knee injury and could just never get back into it. But to his credit, he tried, and he tried really hard to get back onto the field. It just was one of those things that never worked out for him. So gonna miss coaching him as well.
All right. So Greg here, Greg Amelong. All right. So first things, I just want to say a few things about Greg. As a coach, one of the things that you dread is one of your seniors not being able to finish the season, or getting hurt in the middle of the season and not being able to continue. Unfortunately, this happened to Greg. he got a couple weeks in playing some D tackle and nose, and was able to play some vital minutes in the first 2 games. But at week 3, unfortunately, he hurt his shoulder, which ended up causing him to be out the rest of the season. I think that it goes a long way when you have a kid like that gets out and doesn't really need to be here anymore because they're hurt. And Greg continued to stick around, help out, be at practice when he could, and help out on Friday nights. He spent the remainder of season supporting his teammates, and on Friday nights, Greg's unselfishness speaks volumes about his character and his leadership qualities. This is sometimes more important than just the games themselves. You know, like Coach said, wins are important, but you know the bonds and the friendships you gain through sports and football and all the activities that we do go on a lifetime. And I think Greg has those bonds and friendships that will continue to go on as he finishes out his high school career. Right now, I know Greg plans on going to Rankin University, and he's going to be working on getting a degree or a focus in high-performance racing. So that seems pretty awesome to me. I don't know much about that stuff, but it seems like it'd be a pretty good deal to go on and watch race cars all the time. That's all I got. Thanks.
Anthony Bader. I don't think he was able to make it tonight either. Those of you who know Anthony, huge kid, great athlete, super smart. He was a starter for us for 3 years. Started a lot as a sophomore, talking about a dude that played probably 30 football games, which is saying something to get to play that many varsity football games. Worked extremely hard in the weight room. You younger guys, work as hard as he did in the weight room, you'll be successful. Thomas Piku, he's here. Get that Amish beard up here, buddy. Everybody wants to see it. Coach Pope talked about he didn't like stats, so I looked up some stats. O-linemen don't get a lot of stats, so I checked out the last 2 seasons. Piku, did you start every game the last 2 years? Every game the last 2 years. We have had 8,400 total yards of offense, 381 yards a game, and we've had 4,743 rushing yards for 216 yards a game rushing. That's about the only stat you get as an offensive lineman. So Anthony and Thomas, they were the 2 starters for the last 2 seasons that are seniors, so they're responsible for a lot of those yards. We talk about Anthony. Anthony was 6'4", 6'5", I don't know. Piku wasn't blessed with that size, as you might tell. If you've ever seen Thomas run, he wasn't blessed with a ton of speed either. He has an interesting gait. Like if you said, like run 50% or 100%, I think it's just the same speed. But Thomas was always there. He was always there in the weight room. Coach Pope could tell you, but I doubt what he missed, like 1 day all year. I think he randomly missed a day sometime, didn't he? Oh, yeah. Still. Thomas he was always there. He was always a good kid for the younger guys to look up for. He was always going to give you effort, whatever drill, whatever you were doing. And he loved trying to succeed so that he could attain approval from you. And that's what you're looking for a kid. It was awesome because he just was like, did we do it as well as we could have? Yes, we did as well as we could have. We scored on a counter. That's as good as we can do. Okay. You know, that was him. He wanted to do his best so that the team could achieve success. Coach Robertson, I don't know that I love every ounce of Thomas like you do with your team. But Thomas is I think you're a good dude, and I think you're a hell of a high school football coach. Thanks, buddy.
You can't ever win at these things because either I follow Sherry and I'm not going to be as funny as him, or I'm before him and give him ammo to make fun of me. So I don't know, but I'll do the best I can. Matt Schmidt, come on up. All right, I'm going to not look at you because you're just going to make me laugh the whole time. Matt is exactly what you would want in any player in any sport that you coach. He shows up every single day and works as hard as he possibly can. When Matt was, I'm lucky enough to have these guys as freshmen, so I get 4 years with them, and I mean, well, I'm not quite as skinny as I used to be, but Matt was probably just as skinny as me or skinnier at the time, and he was playing offensive line and defensive line. He might have been the guy you would have picked last to be in those positions just by looking at him, but man, is he tough. We every single week, I think we had Matt ready for every single position on the offensive line. So Coach Pope likes to have, he'd like to have a depth chart where it's like, okay, tackle, here's your first tackle, here's your second tackle. Here's your first guard, here's your second guard. Here's your first center, here's your second center. Well, Matt Schmidt was the second of everything at the time, but at any given time in the season, somebody's banged up or somebody didn't show up, and Matt was always there, and he was always showing up. And us coaches talk about raising our kids right, and today, showing up means a lot. Showing up to a job every day means a lot. And Matt's always going to do that. I have no doubt in my mind he's going to be a successful human being by what he shows us every day at football. So I've had a ton of fun. I'll never forget, he created the moments that you just wish for as a coach and why you really do it. And like Coach Pope said, why I choose to spend time with these guys and spend time away from my family. I'm the bus guy a lot of the time, and I choose that. Honestly, I choose that. A lot of the time, my bus buddies in the past few years have been Piku and Matt, and I got lucky enough to be able to be with the offensive line this year. Shout out to the big boys. But those moments, that's why we do it. If you know me, I'm super competitive. If we went 0 and whatever, that would bother me for the rest of my life. But so I'm not going to say wins don't matter at all, because they do. But those are the moments, those bus rides and just the stupid conversations we have. That's what'll stick with me more than anything. I'll never forget it, and I appreciate the heck out of you. Matt likes to make fun of me for a lot of things. So I will not miss that. Love you, buddy. All right, I'm going to do my best here. Not cry like Miss Robertson. Caden, fly. All right, so also from freshman year, tried to just think of a lot of awesome times I've had with Caden and awesome moments I've had with Caden. Each year, these are my 4 main memories. Freshman year against Chester, running a Wildcat and just mowing down their whole entire team, and then watching next week, watching the film and just going, this dude's kind of like a psychopath on the football field. I'm not sure, he's just mad. I don't know if he remembers this, but sophomore year, he started at corner for us. And like I said, freshman year, you could just tell every single time he hit the field, he knew he was the best player on the football field, and he wasn't going to let anybody make him decide different. But sophomore year, we had a couple games, and I could tell he just wasn't sure of himself, and he was questioning that. And we were outside the locker room, and I threw some other words in this, I think, that I won't say right now. But we sat there, and I said, just remember, I don't care if you're a sophomore. I don't care if you're a freshman. I really don't care at all. Just remember, you're the best player on the field. And from then on, I could kind of see he remembered it. Junior year, as many of you know, Zach Boyer got a lot of the touches and a lot of the touchdowns. And Caden, on a lot of teams as a junior, would still be the best player on the football field. And never once did he ask for the ball. Coach Bozza, you ever remember Caden Fly ever asking for the football?
Nope.
Not one single time. And you know, I never really even thought about it, because every single day at practice, it was smiles and going one-on-one and trying to moss somebody. And that's like, I never even thought, you know, he probably wants the ball more, like who doesn't? But he never said it, because he's a team player. Which, moving on to senior year, there's a lot of things I could say, but my best memory is that in a really tough moment, I watched a kid on senior night, after Aiden Boyer scored a touchdown, be as happy as he could have scoring 20 touchdowns himself. And just going up to AB and just being so proud of him and being an all-around team player, and that's all I could ever ask for. I could tell you a lot of memories in the past 2 months with Caden, but that's between me and him. I always thought it was the hardest thing to watch a kid get injured and not be able to play his senior year, and I saw something even harder this year, so I wish you could have been there with us that last night so I could have gave you the big hug and shared those tears with you. But we got a lot of year left, and I can't wait to see everything you do throughout the school year, because I know you're going to make me proud. Love you.
If you would have told me that the football coaches were going to cry more than Coach Robertson tonight, I would have lost a lot of money. Coach Wyke wasn't able to be here. He's got some sick kids at home, so we told him to stay there, take care of his family. So I'm going to talk about the guys he was going to talk about. First up is Aiden Trollinger. I'm going to read what Coach said, and then I'm going to throw in some stuff myself. Okay. So Coach Wyke says, Aiden made the switch to linebacker this year, hoping to make more of an impact for his team, and it worked out great. Aiden was the most valuable player for our kickoff team for 2 years in a row now, and if you were at the Afton game, you know we needed a good kickoff team. Aiden led the team in tackles that game. I think he had 7 on kickoffs alone. He's not a typical build for linebacker, but made up for his lack of size with strength and quickness. Aiden's best attribute was being a positive teammate and friend. He always seems to carry an infectiously good attitude towards life, and that will be greatly missed. I was thinking about Trollinger today, and I was here in 19, and we had Bryce on the team, and it just makes my heart happy knowing that the Trollingers and the number 9 have a place in this program. Every time you see 9 on the field, you don't have to think about who it is. You just know it's a Trollinger. And that's something, that lineage, the tradition there is a big piece of what this whole thing is supposed to be about. And thanks to Wes, we're going to have that tradition until I retire in 2044 with all the kids coming through, so I appreciate that. But like Coach Wyke said, Trolley's just a great kid, did everything the right way, and he's going to be greatly missed, but I think he set the standard of what it means to wear that number 9 jersey, so we appreciate everything you've done for your program. Carter Burr. Coach Wyke says, Carter was by far our most improved player this year in all aspects of his game. He will likely tell you he is not the most athletic guy, but he makes up for it with hard work and ability to be coached. Carter was always trying to be better, and his hard work and dedication that he showed to his team will carry him far in life. I want to share a quick story about Carter, and I promise it has a point, so just bear with me for a second. So dead week, I remember we had our scrimmage. Coach Foz's already laughing, I can't look at it. We had our scrimmage or whatever, so we're off for 7-8 days, whatever it is, and the coaches got together because we'd been grinding for 2 months straight. We just needed a break, spend some time together. So we all got in our side-by-sides, Jeeps or whatever, and just, took a day and went riding. And somehow we ended up at the marina late at night, and we came over the hill there, and there's just this random person sitting in their truck by themselves. And we pulled up and shined the lights on it, and here's Carter with that same smile on his face. And like the 8 of us just stared at each other and stared at Carter, and we all just went about our ways, and nothing was ever said about it. Okay, so I share that story for a reason. When you have 70 kids on a team and only 11 guys get to play at once, it's really, really hard to get everybody their fair shake. It's really hard. I did a piss poor job of it this year. I'm not afraid to admit that. I suck at it. And I remember one morning I was sitting in my classroom working on whoever, and Carter came in, and we had a face-to-face conversation. And all he said was, "How can I help my team, and how can I contribute to this team?" He came to me like a man, talked to me face-to-face, never complained about not getting in, never said how unfair it was that he was a senior. All he asked was the chance to earn an opportunity to play. He asked what he could do to help his team out. And I think in that moment, Carter probably made me more proud to be a coach than any victory ever has. Because he did everything the right way, and he did it with that damn goofy smile on his face. And I'm going to miss that freaking smile, but I can't wait to see it as you go through life and continue to do great things. So appreciate you. Love you. Next up, so some of these guys are getting talked about. We did that senior jersey deal. Some of these guys were given jerseys by a senior that selected them. So since Coach White can't be here, one of the jerseys winners was Coach Robertson. So she's going to talk about Jacob Johns. Maybe she's got some more jokes for you, JJ. I don't know.
You guys thought you had already escaped me. I'll read what Coach White read first, since that's like the actual football knowledge, not just
want to hear you.
Not just pretend. So Coach White wrote, "Jacob was a 3-year starter on defense, and words can't really describe how valuable he has been to his team over those 3 years. The most incredible part of his 3-year run is he only missed 1 game, and that was due to COVID. JJ played inside and outside linebacker for us, as well as some running back and wide receiver when needed. I said for years he could make a good offensive weapon for us, but he was so indispensable on defense, we waited until this year to use him. Jacob was a great leader for our team and an amazing young man, one of the smartest football players and students I have ever had the privilege of teaching. I know he will go on to do great things." That's what Coach White wrote. Obviously, because it was actually relevant to football. What I would like to say, first of all, the whole seniors giving their jersey for a day to an educator who impacted their life is just such a special week. I've been blessed the last 2 years, last year with Clayton Squires and this year with Jacob Johns. And like Clayton Squires, I think one of my favorite attributes? I have, okay. Is JJ is extremely intelligent and is such an old soul. You could talk to him like you're a senior in high school, but you also can have a conversation with him as if he's like a 40-year-old dude. He's just extremely mature and intelligent for his age, and what an amazing student to have in class, and I'm sure that translated onto the football field as well. I'm jealous I didn't get to coach you, but we still have minerals. You have to do minerals. This guy can bust a move. I'm not joking, he's got moves. Okay, so he does our winter snow coming, and then also he is an incredible and the all-time best rolly chair basketball pusher. Kobe Schwent, look out. I'm going for it again this year. You're going down, me and JJ. We're coming for you. Seriously, it's been an absolute honor just knowing you as a human being, JJ. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for it.
Aiden Butcher. So my classroom's right outside here. I don't get to see a lot of our students. I probably see 5% of our population of students. Hardly any of them are athletes. So one day I'm sitting in my classroom in the spring, and he doesn't look like he does now. He looks like a normal human being right now. But this scrawny kid walked into my classroom at like 7 a.m. one morning with this big ponytail, just out of sweatpants. Yeah, braided ponytail. He was like the Dollar General version of like Conor McGregor. But he comes in and he said, "Are you Coach Pope?" I said, "Yes. How can I help you?" You know, I just figured it was a kid I was going to have in class. And he says, "I'm interested in playing football." I said, "Okay," and kind of gave him the rundown and look, and it's like, okay, whatever, yeah, sure. I hear this 100 times a season, and these kids never show up, but and that was kind of it. And then the first day came along, and he showed up, and he had a haircut. It's like, who's this kid? It's like, oh yeah, that's the long-haired kid that said he wanted to play. Okay. But as we're progressing through stuff, it's like, holy cow, this kid tries really, really hard every single rep, no matter what we're doing. And then the next day, holy crap, this kid is really, really athletic. And then the more I got to talk to him and the more I got to know Aiden, it's like, holy cow, this is a fantastic human being. And it really reminded me that you can't judge a kid based on his crappy haircut. But I don't know what led Aiden to walk through my classroom that day, but I'm very, very grateful that it did. He's only been here a few months, but I feel like he's totally embraced what it means to be a St. Genevieve Dragon. I wish we had 4 years with you, but I'll take what we've got. He's a fantastic young man, and I can't wait to watch him go on and do great things. Last but not least for seniors, Mr. Will Vaughn. Yes, I don't know how I got the two kids with the worst haircuts on the team, but I guess it just works out that way.
I thought the hair was going to be brought up.
I don't think anything needs to be said about Will as a football player. I mean, he's pretty well dominated his position the past 2 years, and I think it's very, very evident. The thing I want to share about Will is I remember in the spring, he was the biggest force that we've had as far as leadership and dragging kids into the weight room and making sure everybody was doing what they were supposed to do. And I remember after one of those sessions, I was sitting in my office, and he came down and just sat down next to me on a chair. And what the hell is this kid doing? I'm trying to go home. And we ended up having like a 2-hour conversation. And we talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of random stuff, not just football. And it was one of those things that reminded me why I coached. And I think Will is what you look for in a player. It's what every coach dreams of. He has every pillar that we try to instill in these guys. We've got 5 main pillars in our program that we preach: discipline, relentless effort, confidence, humility, and leadership. And Will is all those things and more. He's just a fantastic human being, and I'm very, very sad that our time on the field is gone. But I'm very, very grateful that I get to know you and watch you continue to grow. With those things said, I want to present him with the award for this year's Loyal and True. All right, 2 more awards and we'll get out of here so I can go see if the Eagles are covering the spread or not. It looks like they currently are. So, first award, Goon of the Year, Mason Nix. Come on up. I don't know if you guys have heard the phrase, but people have a type. You guys know what I'm talking about? You have a type, so you're into certain things. So, for example, Jeff Nix has a type with coaches. He likes coaches with red beards. It would be funnier if Thompson was here to sit next to the rest of us. But apparently my type is really small safeties that play really hard and have big hearts. The winner this year, last year, was Clayton Squires. Wasn't a huge dude, but played bigger than what he was. Our safeties this year, Bryant included, and even Isaiah at times, not very big, but their hearts are huge. We named Mason's position after Clayton last year as he won the Goon of the Year award, so we just called that position the Goon. And when Mason took over, we didn't know if he'd be able to fill Clayton's shoes, and I think after the scrimmage we knew he could. And he played every single down with a full head of steam and just was a goon. You know, we define it as somebody that's intimidating, somebody that causes the opponent to fear you. And Mason did that even when the game he couldn't even see. He decided that, hey, I'm not the biggest guy on the field, but I'm going to hit the crap out of you. And he gave us everything we had each and every game. So, thank you. The last thing, we'll get out of here, the Hog of the Year award. This one was really, really close. It's really, really hard. Like Coach Sherry said, there's not a lot of stats that can kind of set those guys apart. So you kind of got to, just subjectively select somebody. And it was a close race. But this year's winner is Jacob Schweigert. I just wrote a couple things for each one of these guys to just kind of work off of. For Jacob, I said just wing it like he does every day at practice. The Hog of the Year, is our best lineman. But for Jacob's sake, after looking at his locker this morning, it could mean certain other things. I don't know what his room at home looks like, but I think that award could go for multiple things. Jacob, I don't know how you describe Jacob. He is always the center of the team, whether it's excitement, whether it's passion, whether it's effort. He always seemed to be at the center of something. I would be at one end of the practice field, and you'd hear a commotion down at where the linemen were, and every time I looked down, it usually seemed like it was Jacob on top of somebody giving them a tea bag, because that's how he approached the game. I'm either going to knock you down and be better than you, or I'm going to learn from it and get you the next time. And I'm very, very excited. We're very excited as coaches to have you for another 2 years. And if nobody has seen our team picture for the year, Jacob's in the front with his shirt off. So he pretty well set the tone for the season with that picture. So congrats, Jacob. Fantastic kid. Excited to have you. Just to close from the football side, I'll say to these guys, especially the seniors, one last time what we tell you at the end of every huddle. After every game, we sing the loyal and true. Hopefully you guys feel that. Hopefully you guys feel that that's more than a song now. Hopefully we've built some meaningful memories with you guys. And as always, take care of each other, love each other, make great decisions. Love you guys.
All right, great job. It was a fun season. Of course, finishing 8-3 is. There's a lot of teams around the state. We at St. Genevieve. This is my, 22nd year here, and St. Genevieve football has always had a great reputation around the area as a winning football program. We went 8-3 this year, and I know there's nobody in this room who didn't want to do better than that. And it's funny because 90% of programs around the state probably, I don't know if that's just a guess, 90%, but a large number of schools around the state and around this area would die for an 8-3 season, and we're just not satisfied in St. Genevieve, and that's okay because we want to do better. But it was a great season nonetheless. JV 5-2, and they were fun to watch as well. All right, so before we leave here tonight, I've got 50-50 drawing. So if you did 50-50 tonight, I think the amount was $47 was half of that. So if you've got the winning ticket, bring that up and I'll give you your $47. I also have the banners to pick. If you were an award winner, Mr. Boyd, would you like to see the award winners like usual? Okay. If you were an award winner tonight for Emeralds, cheer, or football, Mr. Boyd from the Herald will meet you guys out here right in front of in the Commons, right in front of the trophies, to take your picture for the papers. So don't take off until he gets you guys together and takes your pictures for that. So let's do the banners first. I don't think we had any cheers. So, we didn't have anybody that wanted the cheer banner, so I don't know. First cheerleader to come to me and tell me what my birthday is gets the banner. By the way, the banners will be in Wednesday. So if you win the dance, the Emeralds dance or the football banner, I don't have it for you this evening, but I will hopefully have it on Wednesday this week. Okay, the winner of the dance banner. Addison Haney. So I'll get that to you, Addison. The winner of the football. Oh my God, there's a lot of them. Coy Flea won those things every year. Even won last year and he wasn't even here anymore. There's like 50 in here. There's a bunch. Okay. Meyer, I'm guessing that is Aiden Meyer. Myers, you guys won the banner. We'll get that to you as well. Oh, Drake. Sorry, Drake. All right. And the 50-50, like I said, it is $47, so bring your ticket up here with you. Once again, award winners do not leave until Mr. Boyd takes your pictures. Ticket number 3, I think I got it. 329-986. 329-986. If you're the winning ticket, come claim your money. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for a fantastic evening. Have a great night.